winter weather is coming in this afternoon, and there's a gazillion things that need to be done, so I'm just working on the most important. So I've been working on getting this red shed cleaned out. I'm almost there. I got a few more things with the cages to do. And then this mess under here. We had put plywood under here at an angle, and there's some like flooring, like vinyl flooring on top of that. And when the rabbits go to the bathroom, it would just run down into like a gutter, and then it would collect in one area. But it has come loose and I can't get it out from underneath there. So Perry's gonna help me with this when he gets home today. And I think we're gonna use a lighter weight material. And really, they go to the bathroom in one spot and they both use opposite corners. So like, he uses this corner and she uses this corner. So I'm thinking we might not have to do the whole entire thing, but we'll see. But Perry got this lightweight board that he found, or he got with that estate sale. So I think we're going to use that. So anyway, I just got things kind of just picked up and stacked up, and it's much better. A couple of the grandkids came over yesterday and I took them for a ride on the trailer, so they've got blankets out here because it was a beautiful day yesterday, but it was cool. So I'm just gonna fill this trailer up with wood and bring it to the house. And we've just got so much going on. We gotta, you know, band together and get stuff done. So I'm gonna work on that, and we'll finish the red shed when Perry gets home. So here's where all the wood is, where Perry has split it up at the barn. And I've already moved all the wood that was in this section. So I'm getting ready to, because this was the older stuff that's right there. And then Perry has split all that wood. And there's a bunch of it there. I have to walk all the way around just to get to it. So there's the pile. So I'm gonna work on the older stuff, getting the older stuff first, and then we need to restack this. I will leave some of the older stuff here for him to make, I mean, this is dry already, but it's just good to rotate it. But he builds fires up here in the barn too, so I've got my little trailer over here that I'm getting ready to fill up. So better get to work. So my little trailer that Perry made for me is for my projects, which it's just not built to hold like too heavy of a load. So I may just put one or two more handfuls on there and call it good. Well, I've just about got our wood ring on the front porch filled up, and I'll take the rest over to the garage where we keep the rest of it, which is right outside our kitchen door. Alright, well, I got another load of wood up here, and it's almost full, so I'm pretty glad about that. This is our, I think it's called a kindling cracker. It's awesome. I bought it for Perry, I don't know, about 4 years ago for Christmas, or for us for Christmas. And he made this whacker. So all you do is put your little log in there and give it a whack. I think it was invented by a dad and his daughter, but it's pretty cool. I need 2 hands to do it, but it is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm glad to get that done. I got the ring full out front, this full, and I brought some wood in to have near the stove, so when I'm ready to build a fire, I can. So I've brought in my ash can over here, because before I build another fire, I'm going to go ahead and clean out the ash that's in the stove. And as you can see, it gets messy. So we're going to do a little bit of cleaning on the stove and get it ready for another fire. Okay, well, I always start with newspaper, and I just tear it into shreds. So yeah, I always start with paper on the bottom, and I usually like to start with some scraps from Perry's barn, but I don't have any, so I went out and cut. I save any kind of paper tubes from like a toilet paper roll or paper towel roll, and I cut some of this stuff down small. And I like to loosely lay it in here. Well, here's another paper towel tube. Sometimes if I have a piece small enough, I'll just stick it down in there. And then start with just some small stuff. I get that going before I put any large stuff in there. Always want to make sure that's open and the bottom is open. And then I will crack the door, leave it cracked a little bit. It helps like force some air in there, and that kind of feeds the flame. So hopefully that'll start. I think it's going to. Okay, I put a little bit bigger log in already, and now I'm going to put another one in. I'm still going to leave the door cracked just a little bit, just to give it some air till it gets going good. All right, it's going pretty good, so I'm gonna move this around a little bit and make some room for a little bit larger log. And there we go. Now we'll just go ahead and shut it. Close the damper down a little bit so it can start holding in some of that heat. Once it gets going, I will close the one that creates the airflow. I'll close that down so it'll burn a little slower, and we'll have a good fire. Now my fire's going really good. I closed the damper, closed it quite a bit, and then now I will just push that in, and that'll slow the burn down a little bit. Well, there you go. We got a nice fire burning and ready to get the house warmed up. I gotta go out and see about a few things, so when I come back in, it'll be nice and toasty. Okay, I got all my gourds and harvested the last of the comfrey in case I want to make some comfrey salve. I've got some on hand, so I'm gonna take these down to my shop, and I don't think I've ever showed you in my shop. It's kind of a mess. I never seem to find time to go down and organize it, so we'll head down there. Okay, this white shed is what is supposed to be my shop, but it hasn't quite got there yet. It's kind of a mess. I started it a couple years ago, and it's just, this is like a couch Perry and I made out of pallets. It's on wheels, and I had it at the last house on a covered porch that we had. I had different pillows and a different spread like on it, but now I have it in here, and so This is just where I wanted to be able to work on any kind of projects that I want to work on, but I tend to just go to Perry's barn because all the tools are in there. I don't know. Just haven't quite got there yet. So here's all the gourds. I didn't get very many this year, but this is where I dried them last year. And they did great. The only thing different that I did last year is I let them, I didn't pull them until like this time. I pulled these, or I cut these off when the stem turned brown. So some of them, there was a few that weren't brown and I left them and I just cut them today. And they were the smaller ones and they're firm, but I don't know if they're gonna make it, but we'll see. I'll come out every couple of weeks and turn them, or maybe I won't. I think I might have done it once last year, but they dried fine. This one's there's a couple that are starting to peel, so they're already starting to see. This one's starting to peel really good, so hopefully they'll dry in here okay, and then I can paint on them or do whatever. But I have my sewing machine out here. It's kind of, there's a row of fencing, and I just brought this chicken water in here. But I got a sewing machine in here if I want to do any sewing projects. But this is my shop, and maybe one day I'll get it finished. But for now, I gotta finish doing some winterizing. Okay, so our winter weather storm has come and gone. Perry and I lost light the day that we fixed the bottom part of the rabbit cages, and so I didn't get to show you, so I thought I'd show you now. So we just put that lightweight board on an angle, so it's resting on like a 2x2, and then it lays on the inside of this PVC pipe, corrugated PVC, I guess is what it is, that Perry cut in half and made 2 gutters, so it just, when they go, it falls down into the gutter and then into the little storage bin that I have down there, and then every couple days I just take it to the compost pile and dump it. And most of the time, I mean, it'll fall in there, but a lot of times it builds up on the ends, and I just use this little rake that I have, and I'll just push it down into there. But it works pretty good for the winter time anyway. And so I have their waters hooked up, their electric waters, and so they have their straw area where they can lay, and then their food and hay. And then I keep a couple of boards in here for them to get on, just to get off the wire, even though it's coated. Just a different texture for them to be on. There's a board under that straw also. And the same for her. So they like to be in that little tunnel. I think it helps make them feel secure. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the rabbit's winter home. It's not the prettiest, but it does the job. I did get some flake pine shavings and put in here. And I also put in here some higher percent protein feed along with some diatomaceous earth. It's a good treat for them. Plus, it helps because they're molting. The higher protein will help them grow their feathers in. So, I got that tip from Tall Weeds and Rust as well. So, I got some more flake down. And this over here is just kind of extra. So, as they dirty that up, I'll just like rake some of that over there. And by spring, we will put it in a compost pile and start making some more compost. Ellie Mae! Ellie! Ellie Mae! Get over here! Ellie! Don't you roll in that! Get over here! There's something over there. Ellie! Come on! Something over there she keeps rolling in. So they've been out here for about a week together, side by side. I got their water hooked up. No frozen water for them. I do have to change their water just like normal, but at least it's not frozen stuff that I have to deal with. So I threw some scratch in there, so they're picking around at that. I threw some in here too. So I did start them on a little bit of the layer pellets with their regular food, just to start transitioning them over to the layer feed. And they have plenty of straw in there that's where they're sleeping at night. And I think they stay pretty warm in there with all their body heat. I'm sure they do. Hey, girlies. I know I don't have any treats. I brought you some sunflower seeds. Don't peck me. I put some of the sunflower seeds and oats and scratch over close to the fence so they would be pretty close together. Scratching and looking for stuff. And if I don't get too crazy busy tonight, maybe I'll let them free range together. I never get tired of this view. Oh my gosh, we have had so much going on between just regular farm chores and work and birthday dinners, grandbabies. You add in the annual, health tests that you have to have. Some of them have to be, done at the hospital, which takes, a whole day, and just different stuff. We totally missed the winter storm that we had. It only hung around for about a day. I guess because the ground was so warm, those temperatures dropped and the rain started, and then ice and snow. It was a mess, but it didn't last long, which was great. Perry's up at the barn working. I'm getting ready to fix dinner, and then hopefully get out here in free range with these chickens if the dark doesn't get me first. But that's all I got today, guys. Y'all have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on the next video.